The alarm pierced through the darkness at 4:45 a.m., vibrating on the nightstand like it had something urgent to say. Alex Reyes slapped it silent, but he didn't hit snooze. Not today. He sat up slowly, shoulders stiff, eyes burning from 5 hours of sleep. The cold Boston air nipped through the thin walls of his studio apartment, and the radiator made more noise than heat. Outside, the city was still mostly asleep, except for the early risers, the street sweepers, the coffee truck on Commonwealth Ave, and Alex Reyes. He stood, barefoot on freezing tile, and stared at the laminated note taped to the bathroom mirror. The same one he'd read every morning for the past 19 days. 10 things you must work on every day. Napoleon Hill. Definite chief aim self-discipline initiative, imagination, enthusiasm, faith, concentration, persistence, learning from defeat, going the extra mile. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't viral, but it was something to hold on to, and for Alex, holding on was the only option left. 19 days ago, his boss pulled him into a cramped office at the ad agency and said the words Alex thought he'd never hear. "We're letting you go." Just like that. After 6 years of 12-hour days, cancelled vacations, pitch after pitch, laid off with a cardboard box and a severance package that wouldn't last past the spring, he didn't go home that day. He walked the city for hours, ending up at a used bookstore in Cambridge. That's where he found it, a battered, dog-eared copy of Think and Grow Rich, $2.25. Something about Hill's words hit him harder than anything else had in months. Now here he was, 19 days into a routine that made no sense to anyone but him. Cold showers, 4:45 a.m. wake-ups, journaling. No alcohol, walking 5 miles a day, applying to 3 jobs daily, reading Hill's list out loud, twice, once in the morning, once before bed. It wasn't magic. His bank account was still scary. His inbox was still silent. But something inside was shifting. He felt sharper, less lost. Today, though, something was different. At 6:17 a.m., as he was journaling at the Dunkin' near Kenmore Square, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. New York, NY. He stared at it, let it ring once, twice, 3 times, then answered. "Hello?" A pause, then a woman's voice, clear, direct. "Mr. Reyes, this is Janine Wilson from Archer & Knox. Do you have a moment?" His hand froze over the paper. Janine Wilson, executive recruiter. The kind of call that never came, especially not from a firm like Archer & Knox. "Yes, of course. We came across a campaign you led in 2022, Breathe in Boston. Are you still open to opportunities?" Was he dreaming? He sat up straighter, brushing crumbs off his hoodie. "I am." "Great, we'd love to talk. Are you available this afternoon?" Alex swallowed, eyes darting to the laminated list in his notebook. 10 things to work on every day. Maybe, just maybe, it was starting to work. Alex sat at his kitchen table, heart thudding against his ribs like a bass drum. His laptop was open, the camera centered. The screen showed the waiting room of the Zoom call, a grey spinning wheel rotating calmly, mockingly. He checked the clock again. 2:59 p.m., 1 minute to go. He wore his only good blazer, navy, 2 years old but still sharp, and a white shirt ironed that morning with a travel steamer he hadn't touched since 2019. From the waist down, pajama pants and cold feet. Classic remote interview chic. The email from Janine had been brief. "Alex, we'd love for you to meet with one of our partners, Elijah Grant, at 3 p.m. today via Zoom. He reviewed your portfolio and has a few thoughts. Looking forward, Janine. Elijah Grant." That name was familiar. Alex had heard it whispered in creative circles, the kind of guy who could launch careers or bury them. Old school, sharp-tongued, known for never sugarcoating feedback. 3 p.m. sharp. The wheel stopped spinning, then the screen blinked. "Elijah Grant has entered the meeting." Alex sat up straighter. A man appeared, late 50s, dark sweater, silver hair, thick-rimmed glasses. His face was unreadable. "Mr. Reyes," Elijah said with a nod. "Mr. Grant, it's great to meet you." I've followed your work for a long time. Elijah didn't smile. I've seen your campaign work, the Breathe in Boston series. You wrote the scripts? Yes, concepted and wrote, with creative direction from my team. It was decent, not groundbreaking, but clear, and clear is rare. Alex blinked. Was that a compliment? I'll take that, he said, trying to keep the nervous humor from his voice. Elijah leaned forward. I didn't ask for this meeting to offer you a job. Alex's heart sank. I asked because I want to know something. Why have you applied to over 40 companies in the last 2 weeks without a single offer? Alex froze. How did he know that? I don't know, he said honestly. I thought maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe my work wasn't strong enough. No, Elijah said, sharp. That's not it. You're good, not great yet, but good. The problem isn't your portfolio. It's your presence. My presence? You're waiting, hoping someone picks you, like you're lucky to be at the table. That's not how this works anymore, not for someone like you. Alex felt heat creep into his face. I lost my job last month, he said quietly. I've been trying to stay focused, build discipline, create something new, but yeah, some days I do feel like I'm just waiting. Elijah nodded once. Stop waiting. Start building. Find one problem in the world that bugs you and fix it. Launch something. Doesn't matter if it fails, you need motion. Movement builds momentum. The call ended without a goodbye. Alex stared at the black screen. It wasn't a job, but it might have been something better. That night, Alex couldn't sleep. Not because of anxiety, but because of possibility. He lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, Elijah's words looping in his head. Find one problem in the world that bugs you, and fix it. It sounded simple, too simple. But something about the way Elijah said it made it feel like a challenge, like a dare. At 2:12 a.m., Alex got up, walked barefoot to the kitchen, made instant coffee even though his stomach turned at the idea. Sat at the table and opened his notebook. He wrote one question at the top of the page. What frustrates me every day? He started a list. Job applications that feel like black holes. Great people stuck in bad careers. College grads with zero idea how to build a life. No one teaches how to deal with failure. Everyone pretending on LinkedIn. He paused on that last one, underlined it. He thought about his own profile, curated, polished, always excited to announce something. No hint of the panic he'd felt this past month. No trace of the real Alex, broke, bruised, but rebuilding. He scribbled more furiously now. What if people were honest about the hard parts? What if someone documented the in-between? Not the success, the climb. By sunrise, he had 10 pages of ideas, none of them perfect, but one of them stuck. A digital series, short, raw videos, one per day, documenting the grind. The mornings, the failures, the rejections, what it actually feels like to build something from scratch, with nothing but discipline and a list taped to a mirror. He'd call it Day One, not flashy, not complicated, just one guy showing up every day with nothing to prove except that he didn't quit. He knew it would be cringe at first, that the lighting would suck, the audio would echo and no one would watch. But maybe that was the point. No pretending, no polished highlight reel, just truth. That afternoon, Alex walked to the Boston Public Library. He needed a backdrop that looked more serious than his cramped apartment. He set up his phone on a little tripod in the courtyard, near the fountains. Took a breath. Hit record. Day one, he said to the camera. I'm Alex, I'm 34, I got laid off 19 days ago. I have no job, no offers, and no idea where this is going. But I'm done waiting, so here's what I'm doing instead. He uploaded it to YouTube. No thumbnail, no edits, just a title. Day one, rebuilding from nothing. He almost didn't hit publish. His finger hovered over the screen for a full minute. Then he exhaled, clicked it, and walked away. Alex didn't check the video for 2 days. He told himself it didn't matter, that this wasn't about likes, comments, or subscriber counts. It was about showing up. But deep down, he was afraid. Afraid no one would watch. Afraid someone would watch, afraid they'd laugh. On the morning of day 3, Sitting on the stone bench outside the Charles MGHT station, he finally opened the app. 127 views. He blinked. Not viral, but more than just his friends and his mum. He tapped the comments section, heart pounding. There were 5. "This hit hard. I got laid off in December. You're not alone, man." Chris in Chicago. "Not what I expected, but I watched the whole thing." Respect at the quiet room. "More people need to show this side of things." Subscribed. At Alex writes, "You should post this on LinkedIn. Real talk." JB Media. "Don't quit. I'm on day 1 too." Rebuild. Jill Rosie. Alex sat back against the bench and closed his eyes. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough. For the first time in weeks, he felt something crack open in his chest. Not relief, not success. Something older, like purpose. He spent the next 2 hours filming day 2, then day 3. Short clips, nothing fancy, just thoughts about discipline, small wins, how hard it was not to spiral when no one called you back. He talked about rejection, about self-worth, about showing up when no one was clapping. Every time he uploaded, he told himself, one day someone's going to find this on their own day 1. By day 5, he had 312 views across 3 videos. No sponsors, no virality, just quiet growth, like grass cracking through concrete. But then, something unexpected happened. An email. Subject line. Your YouTube series, day 1. It was from Janine Wilson. Again. Alex opened it slowly. "Alex, I saw your YouTube channel. One of my colleagues forwarded it to me. I'll be honest, it's rough, but it's also real. Elijah shared it with our internal team. Would you be open to creating a short pitch deck explaining the concept behind day 1 as a larger content platform? No promises, but we think this might have potential. Best, Janine." He stared at the screen for a long time. Was this happening? He wasn't even trying to sell anything. He wasn't pitching, just sharing, just being honest. And someone saw it. Someone thought it could be something. Alex closed the laptop and stood up. The city around him felt louder, more alive. The cold wind whipped down the street, tugging at his coat, and for the first time in weeks, he didn't pull it tighter. He smiled to himself. "Okay," he whispered, "let's build." Alex had never built a pitch deck alone before. At the agency, that had been someone else's job, the senior strategist, the deck designer, the person who actually knew what they were doing. He was the writer, the voice in the room, not the person stitching the slides together at 2 a.m. But now there was no team, just him, his laptop. A growing Google Doc titled Day 1, a content platform for the rebuilders. He wasn't sure that tagline worked, but he left it. For now. He worked out of a corner table at Tatty Bakery in Back Bay, nursing 1 coffee for 4 hours. His headphones played lo-fi beats while he Googled things like how to pitch a digital content idea and early-stage creator platforms. The vision was forming. Slowly, messily, but it was there. Day 1 would be more than videos. It could be a podcast, a daily email journal, a community forum, live check-in sessions, guest interviews with others rebuilding their lives. It wasn't just his story, it was everyone's story. Anyone who ever had to start over without a map. By the end of the second day, he had 11 slides. The design was rough. The fonts were inconsistent, but the idea was solid. He sent it to Janine with a short message. "Attached is the first draft. I know it's early, but I believe in this. Thanks for seeing something in it. Alex." She replied 2 hours later. "Got it. Sharing internally. Let's talk Friday." Friday. That gave him 3 days to overthink everything, and he did. He replayed Elijah's voice. "Stop waiting. Start building." He whispered it to himself like a mantra when he felt panic rising. To calm his nerves, he kept making videos. Day 6, day 7. He filmed one on the steps of the Boston Common, talking about fear and how it always shows up just before something changes. Comments kept coming in, small but steady. "Just found this. Feels like you're speaking straight to me." On day 4, myself. "Let's go. Your honesty's refreshing, keep going. Friday morning arrived cold and grey, rain on the windows. Alex wore the same navy blazer, this time with real pants. Janine was already on the Zoom call when he logged in. She smiled. Hey, Alex. Elijah will join in a sec. He felt that flutter in his chest again, the same one he'd had when he answered her first call. Elijah joined with his camera off. Morning, came the voice. Then silence. Alex waited. Elijah cleared his throat. It's raw. The idea, the deck, the execution. Alex nodded slowly. I know. But, pause. It's honest, and that's rare. I think we can help you shape this, fund it, maybe even back it. Alex blinked. Wait, seriously? Janine smiled again. Let's talk next steps. It was still dark when Alex pressed record. The street lamps outside flickered against a quiet Boston morning. No filters, no fancy lighting, just the yellow glow of the kitchen and the steam from his mug. Day 19, he said into the camera, voice steady. 19 days ago, I thought I'd lost everything. My job, my direction, my sense of worth. But what I'd really lost was motion. He paused, looking down for a second, collecting his words. I started this to feel something, to move again, to stop waiting for someone to pick me. And now I've been offered support to turn this tiny thing, this raw, messy, personal thing, into something real. A platform, a community, a project that could grow way beyond me. He smiled, almost in disbelief. I don't say this because I made it. I haven't. Not even close. But something changed when I stopped hiding, when I got honest. Another pause. This one longer, more grounded. If you're watching this and you're at your own day one, I want you to hear me. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. Start where it's quiet, where it's scary. Start even if no one's watching. He leaned in, his tone softening. You are not late, you are right on time. Click. He ended the recording. Alex sat in the stillness, letting it land. 19 days. He looked around his apartment. Same cracked tile, same crooked closet door. But something was different. He had built a rhythm. He had a reason to wake up. He had strangers rooting for him, people across cities and time zones who found comfort in his effort. That afternoon, he met Janine and Elijah at a co-working space in the Seaport district. Sleek glass doors, concrete floors, the kind of place that smelled like ambition and oat milk lattes. They sat in a small conference room, whiteboards filled with notes from someone else's meeting. Janine slid a folder across the table. This isn't a full investment yet, she said, but it's a seed grant, enough to get you through the next few months. Build the first phase, test, grow. If it works, we'll talk long term. Alex opened the folder, his name printed at the top of a proposal, a real proposal. He felt the edges of his old self dissolve, the one who thought being laid off was the end of the road. It had been an ending, but it was also the start. Outside, the city buzzed with spring energy, the kind that makes people believe again. He stepped into the sunlight, folder in hand, and pulled out his phone. He opened the camera. Day 19, he whispered. Let's go. And hit record. 3 weeks after publishing his first video, Alex received a message that made him stop breathing for a moment. It wasn't from a recruiter or a sponsor, not from Janine or Elijah. It was from someone named Maya in Detroit. No profile picture, just a few followers. But the message hit harder than anything else that week. Hey, you don't know me, but I found your day one video at 3:18 a.m. while feeding my newborn daughter. I'm 24, laid off during maternity leave. Haven't told anyone how lost I feel. I was just scrolling, trying not to cry. Your video was the first thing that didn't feel fake. Thank you for making it, for not pretending. Alex read it twice, then a third time. He leaned back in his chair, blinking hard, suddenly aware of just how quiet his apartment was. How different this silence felt. It wasn't empty, it was full. He typed back slowly. Thank you for this message. I don't know what to say, except this is exactly why I kept posting, even when I was terrified no one would care. You're not alone. You're on your day one too, and that counts. He stared at the screen. This was the real metric. Not views, not funding, not a deck or a pitch. Connection. That night he filmed day 21 not in the city, not on a bench, but sitting on his living room floor. No prep, no script. He just spoke. About fear, about loneliness, about finding one small light in someone else's words. He ended with a line he hadn't planned. If you're out there and this feels like it's just for you, it is. Keep going. When he hit upload, he didn't check the views, he didn't need to.